Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to our UnitWise webinar. I'm Brittany Love. Today we're going to discuss how to get prepared for the new year, so finishing out 2015 strong and starting 2016 strong as well. So the features that we're going to cover during today's webinar are the customers, inventory, accounts, weekly accomplishment sheets, and the reports. All of these are sections of your UnitWise that you'll need in order to complete the year as well as get started strong for 2016. The first section we're going to take a look at is our customer section. So we want to make sure that all of our customer sales are entered into UnitWise so that we've removed all the products from our inventory, we've documented the sale, and that way our reports are correct. We also want to make sure that we have documented all the payments that we have received, and also make sure that any credits that are on customer accounts have either been resolved, or if you want to refund those credits, or if you want to use them for future purchase, you can. But just making sure that everybody's accounts are correct before the end of the year. So let's take a look at what that looks like real quick. So if you go to UnitWise, we are going to go to our Customer Center. In the Customer Center, this is where you keep track of all of your customers. You can also keep track of your consultants, contacts, really anyone who's in your UnitWise. Along the left-hand side are your different contact groups. In the center of the page are your customers or your contacts. You can sort through them using the alphabet located at the top and the search box. Also here, you can search for customers who have call note follow-ups, and you can determine which time period you want to follow up with those. But then also check where it says customers with. This way you can see customers with balances. This is great for seeing who owes you money, and you can take a look at that. So if somebody has paid you and they're still showing a balance, you know that you haven't documented that payment. This also gives you an opportunity to reach out to them one more time before the payment, before the end of the year for that payment. You can also see who has credits on their account. So say they have a credit on their account, but they have an open invoice. You could apply that credit to that invoice, or you could issue them a refund for credit to show that you paid them back that money, or you can leave the credit on their account to use for a purchase next year or this coming year. There's other information you can see as well as far as no balances or customers with bad debt. And I'll show you how to mark a customer as bad debt in just a few moments. To make sure that you have all your sales entered, you can go to invoices or sales receipts. There's a difference between the two. An invoice is used when you have not received the payment. An invoice is used if a partial payment is being made, or if you're setting up a payment plan. Also, you can use an invoice if you're having more than one type of transaction. So say a customer is going to pay some with cash and the remaining balance with her debit card or with a check. That's when you would use an invoice. The invoice does not require payment in order to save. The sales receipt is an all-in-one form. So you can show the products they're purchasing and then show their payment here. So the sales receipt does require payment in order to save it. So if you already have your payment, you're removing the products from your shelf, the quickest, easiest way to enter it is using a sales receipt. However, if you don't have that payment or there's different things going on with the payment, you want to choose invoice. And you can click on Receive Payment to receive payments towards any of those open invoices. All right, so let's take a look at an account so we can see a profile and how we can make sure everything's reconciled correctly. So if we click on a profile, you can go to the top and you can see the balance that is there. You can also see if there's any credit balance. And then you can go to sales. You can begin receiving payments on any open invoices. You can see all your sales receipts and all of your payments. Also, if they have a credit balance and you're not sure where that came from, you can always go here where it says credit history, and that will show you the cause of that credit balance. Now, say you have a customer who has an open invoice and you're not going to get the payment from it. You need to mark it as bad debt. You would go to that invoice. Just confirm all the information is here. You can go back to customer details. You always want to just double check the invoice itself. But here you want to click where it says show, hide, write off. And then you can then click on write off to write off the balance. So that's how you would write off a bad debt. All right. So that's reconciling your customers using the different contact groups to locate your customers. See customers with balances, credits, and bad debt. And then also taking a look at the customer's profile in order to reconcile their account. And then entering in sales using invoices and the payment receipt, and then sales receipts. The next thing we want to take a look at is the inventory. We want to make sure that our UnitWise inventory matches what is currently on our shelf as of December 31st, so that when you run your report for the last day of 2015, the inventory is correct. Now, you can do this a couple of different ways and using more than one method in order to make sure everything is entered correctly. You can import or create purchase orders in your account. This not only puts the products on your shelf, but this also tracks all of your expenses. So if you want to run expense reports for your cost of goods, your sales tax you paid, and shipping and handling you paid, you definitely want to enter in your purchase orders. Finally, just to reconcile all of your totals for quantity on hand, you can use the bulk edit feature in the inventory section in order to go through and make sure that the inventory matches what is on your physical shelf. So let's take a look at the inventory section. So if you come to UnitWise and click on inventory, the first thing we want to take a look at is those purchase orders. You want to click on order from MK. Here you'll be able to see a list of all of your orders. If you haven't already confirmed your order and received the products, you may want to do so or double check as to why you didn't enter that information or complete those orders. To create a purchase order, you want to click on Create Purchase Order. Now, if you have purchased in the last 45 days, you can import that order. However, if it has been past the 45-day mark, you'll need to manually enter it. Also, if you have the Canadian version of UnitWise, you'll need to manually enter it. So here you will just type in the subject. So whenever you purchase that product, the date, you can provide a description if you would like. And then you would either begin entering the products, or if you're importing those products from InTouch, you'll click on Import from InTouch. It provides you the steps of where to find the link that you need. This is the URL link that you'll need. You'll copy it and then paste it into Enter URL and click Import Products. Your BizBuilder credits will apply here if you've imported it. If you have not imported, you're manually creating it, you can enter it here and then select whether it has been taxed or not. You'll also notice after you've entered all the products here, whether manually or importing, your totals for Section 1, Section 2 will be applied here, as well as your totals here. You can adjust your shipping and handling and your tax if you need to. This is what allows us to keep track of your expenses for the cost of goods, your sales tax paid, and your shipping and handling paid for your expense reports. Finally, just for documentation, you want to choose the account that you paid from. We're not charging you again. This is just to document where you paid for this order. So if you ever needed to go back and reference that again, you know which account you paid from, and you want to enter in the amount you paid. So if you use 3 different accounts to pay for the order, you can enter in all 3 and how much you paid from each account. And then finally, you're going to click Save. Once you save your order, the next option is going to be Confirm Your Order with InTouch. This is going to confirm that those expenses are correct and apply that to your reporting. Once you've confirmed your order with InTouch, you'll have the option to receive products. Now, if you haven't received your products yet, you don't want to click that because the products aren't within your possession to put on your shelf. So whenever your products do show, you do have them, and you put them on your shelf, you can click on Receive Products in order to put them on your shelf. Also, by clicking on Receive Products, this is going to allow you to edit what products you do put on your shelf. So say you ordered a specific product and Mary Kay sent you a different shade of it, or it's been back ordered and you're still awaiting that product, you can only bring in the products that you have currently in your possession, so that way you don't have to worry about your accounts ever being off. So once you have all your orders in, your accounts are all set up with all your expenses, you want to just go through and double check your quantity on hand to make sure that all your orders have updated into your inventory, and whenever you've created sales receipts and invoices, they have pulled those products from your inventory. To do this, go to Inventory, click on Products. Here you're going to click on Bulk Edit. Once you're in your Bulk Edit section, you can choose the section that you're dealing with. So if that is your Section 1 or Section 2, or if it's Discontinued Section 1 or Discontinued Section 2. You can also filter it by categories. Also, in your Bulk Edit, you can update any of the information listed here just by double-clicking. So say you have 3 of the Mother of the Bride look on your shelf, and then you go back and check and you actually have 2. You can change this to 2 in order to reconcile it, and so that it matches what's on your shelf. So if your inventory is not quite right, the Bulk Edit section will allow you to make those changes here. Although you may want to check and make sure that all of your sales receipts and invoices have been entered, and that's not what's causing your inventory to be off. Again, you can change your hot sellers and your active products here as well. Another good feature about the Bulk Edit section, especially with the new year right here, is this reorder level. So you can set how many products or how many of each product you want on your shelf at all times here. So say you always want 5 of this Mother of the Bride look. You can leave it here, and then run the shopping list report. So whenever it's time to purchase products from Mary Kay, you have a guideline of, ideally these are the products I want on my shelf. This is how many I have to order in order to reach that ideal order. Again, you're going to want to make sure your inventory is set and ready to go as of December 31st. That way when you run your report for your quantity on hand for that date, it will show the correct amount. That's our inventory section. The next thing we want to take a look at is our accounts, making sure our accounts are reconciled, make sure that anything that was marked undeposited has been deposited, and also we want to make sure all of our expenses have been entered into our UnitWise account. This will help with accurate reporting. So let's take a look at this. So if you go to Accounts and click on Chart of Accounts, we have default accounts such as your checking account, your savings account, ProPay, but we also have it's set where you can add your own accounts. So if you have more than one checking, more than one savings, you have a credit card account, you can add those accounts here. But here you can view each transaction. Say the balance is not right, you can edit it to change the balance to reconcile all of your accounts. Also here, you can have income accounts, so if you're receiving commission, interest rate, if you are you're renting space and receiving income there, any type of income that you're receiving that you're not getting from your product sales, you want to make sure you're entering those so you can view those transactions, you can edit those accounts. And then also expense accounts. UnitWise has it set where you have different expense accounts. So whenever you're entering your expenses, you can show which account they fit into. That way, come this time of the year, and you're running your tax reports, you can see where the majority of your money has gone, whether it was towards advertising, whether it was towards charity, if it was business clothes, traveling, lodging, food. You can see exactly where your money went, how much went there as far as expenses. So those are the three different types of accounts that you can have in UnitWise. And then, of course, you can add as many accounts as you'd like just by clicking this Add Account button. Now, when you're entering your sales receipts, receiving payments, you're showing on those forms where the money is going, and that way it can track it in UnitWise for you, so you always have it to reference. Well, say you get a check and you're not depositing it at that moment, you're not sure which account it's going to go into, you choose undeposited funds. So those checks have not been deposited into any particular account. Once you have deposited those checks into that account, you can make that deposit shown in UnitWise by going to Make Deposit. Once you're here, you can choose which account you're going to deposit those funds into, choose the funds that you are depositing, choose the date that you deposited those funds, and then click Save. And this way, you're depositing that information or those transactions, and also you're documenting it in your UnitWise. So those are two different things you want to do. You want to make sure your accounts are reconciled and they match your bank statements. And you want to make sure that you've deposited the funds. Also, say you made some other income and you want to enter those. You can come here to Other Income, enter those transactions as well. So here you can see all of your other income accounts. You can add them as well. Finally, we want to take a look at our expenses. So whether it was just a one-time transaction or it is a recurring expense, you can enter that into UnitWise. You can view all of your transactions for expenses here as well. So say it's a one-time transaction. It was a large transaction. You have an invoice, a sales receipt, a documentation of this transaction, and you want to store that in UnitWise. Say you use more than one payment, you want to click on Add Expense. Also, if it's a reoccurring expense, you want to click here too. And this way, it allows you to enter in all of the information about that expense into your UnitWise for proper recording and reporting. And then you just save the expense. Now, if you have a stack full of receipts from where you've had little outings where you've gone and met with somebody at Starbucks and wanted to talk with them about joining Mary Kay, or say you went to Target, Walmart, Vistaprint, any of these other stores, places, websites, and you wanted to purchase products for your business there, and you just need to quickly enter them in, and you don't need a lot of information about them, do the bulk add expense. This will allow you to enter in that stack full of receipts that you probably have in your shoebox and just enter them in really quickly. You can add as many rows and expenses as you need. Once all of them have been entered, you just click Save, and you're good to go. So that covers our chart of accounts and reconciling our bank accounts, income accounts, and making sure all of our expense accounts have been listed. We've also talked about making those deposits, so any undeposited funds, depositing them into the correct accounts, and going over other income and where you can document that income from. Finally, we just looked at expenses and how to enter those in as well. The next thing we want to take a look at is our weekly accomplishment sheets. Making sure those are completely up to date and they match all of your sales and anything else that you've had going on in your business. To do this, you're going to go back to UnitWise. Click on My Unit. Now, if you have a consultant plan, it may say My Team. And you want to click on Weekly Accomplishment Sheet. Now, when you create an invoice or a sales receipt, it automatically updates this for you, but you can include additional information by coming here. You can choose the different week that you're referring to, and then you can also adjust your hours, your guest order, books, different skincare sets that you've sold. You can adjust any of this information. You can enter in other recap or orders. You can set goals for the following week, list any new team members, view your earnings. Finally, on the summary sheet, you can send your weekly accomplishment to your director, or by clicking submit, this will email it to them. Or if you just want a printout copy, you can just click print weekly accomplishment sheet. Also here, you can click on Was Reports, and this will give you a report of your weekly accomplishment sheet as well. It also gives you other options for your weekly accomplishments. So if you want it broken down differently, you can see this information as well. Finally, the last part is our reporting. So now that we've updated our customers, their accounts are all reconciled, we have updated our inventory. Our inventory matches the products that we have on our shelf. We have double-checked all of our accounts. They're good. They're reconciled with all my bank statements, and my expenses are all entered. My weekly accomplishment sheets look great. Now is the time we can run the reports for taxes or anything else that you have going on at the end of the year, so you can look and see how you did. Also getting set up for the new year as well. So a list of popular reports is the sales breakdown report. That's going to show you all of your sales, your snapshot of quantity on hand. This is going to show you all the products that you have on your shelf as of December 31st. You can view your profit and loss details, and you can also view an annual summary of expenses. Now, these are not all the reports that you will probably need for your taxes or year-end. We recommend that you consult with a tax professional for exactly the reports you need in order to file your taxes. And it could differ from state to state or depending on how large your business is. So get the information from whoever's preparing your taxes. Find out exactly what information they need and let us know, and we'll be happy to navigate and find the best report for you. But like I said, the most popular reports are these four: sales breakdown report, snapshot of quantity on hand, profit and loss details, and the annual summary of expenses. So to get to these reports, you're going to go to your UnitWise. You're going to click on Home and then choose Reports. In the Report section, you can click on the different categories. I recommend first starting with this year-end tax category. Again, these are a list of popular, most commonly used reports. They may not be all the reports that you need, but this is a good place to get started until you know exactly what information you need from your tax preparer. And then you can find all of those reports listed here. So you can see products that you purchased, you can see your expenses, You can see your inventory by categories. You can also see any non-recovered sales tax. That may be another one that your tax preparer may ask for. Your profit and loss details, sales breakdown, snapshot of quantity on hand, and your was gross receipts. So those are very popular and very recommended reports. So as you can see, UnitWise is designed just for you, especially during tax time and year-end. It helps give you a lot of information about how your business is doing. So definitely let everyone know about UnitWise, how it can help and benefit them in their business with UnitWise. We do have a referral program. For every 4 referrals, you receive a 1-month free subscription. So definitely let everyone know about UnitWise. Give them your referral code, which is your username. So, and let them know how we can help. We'll be happy to get them set up with a 30-day free trial of UnitWise. And of course, now is the perfect time to get started. Start strong with UnitWise, and that way next year this time, running reports, reconciling all your information will definitely be a breeze. I want to thank everyone for joining us for our webinar today so that you're better prepared for the new year, ending out 2015 and starting 2016 strong. Of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. We are available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're Eastern Standard Time, so give us a call, live chat with us. And then we also offer 24/7 email support. So if you're not able to give us a call, send us an email, and we'll be happy to walk you through or send you the information that you need. Of course, if you'd like more information about UnitWise, you can always visit our website, unitwise.com.